Well, hello everyone. This is Teresa Parker, your host, and you're listening to Area 58 Mysteries. Sounds spooky, but not quite as spooky as this experience I had last week while on vacation, and I'm about to tell you about it. But first, a little video. What's wrong with this picture, you guys? What is an abalone shell doing right there in the middle of this little logging road? It still had a little meat on it. It stunk to high heaven, but please someone tell me, what's it doing there? So this area was closed off to vehicle use, but we took it to take walks, and as you can see, there's the abalone shell up close. Here's me walking around, getting a little footage, a little herky-jerky, sorry about that. Looking down the road here. This is a very old growth, and it is very thick. All kinds of trees, different types of pines and redwood and everything. Beautiful place, led down to a small stream, which we enjoyed. We only felt weird just the last day. This was after we heard all the sounds because our dogs were alerting, and we personally as humans felt strange, so we turned around. That was the only time. This is bear country, and there's lots of bear bushes. I should say there's lots of berry bushes, and the bears love them, of course, but they weren't ripe, so we weren't afraid of that. And that's what I did to the abalone shell. I left a little bouquet just in case someone actually did leave it for us. Well, what did you guys think? What did you think of those sounds? I've got Mr. Bigfoot right here. I give him a bite. How you doing, buddy? I think I heard you. Truth is, I don't know what I heard. None of us do. We're all sort of like, what the hell was that? But the truth is, it took me probably about 2 woo-woos, two of them, to figure out, I need to get my phone out and start recording this stuff. So that's what I did. If you listen very carefully, and I should have told you before, but you can always go back and do this. Listen real carefully with earbuds, or crank it up as high as you can. Or if you're listening from a phone, put it up to your ear very high. If you're like me, I got hearing loss from tinnitus, so I don't hear every nuance in the sounds unless I get it right up to my ear, and probably not even then. But the point is, if you do that, you're going to hear something a little, kind of almost like halfway in, woo, and then my dog starts to growl, and she growls under her breath, but she stops. And this girl never does that. She never stops. So she stopped, and then woo, and then again woo, and then later on, then I put on the right after that, I put on the other sound I caught. Now I put on a recorder, a cheap recorder. It was a Olympus. But it's old, so I just bought a new one in case this happens again while I'm out and about camping or whatever. Or for any reason, really. But I listened to probably 4 of 10 hours of it that night, and I have yet to listen to the rest of it. So there may well be more sounds caught on the audio. It won't be that great. But the second one I put on there, you guys, was me using a cheap parabolic. Now I was listening. Everybody else was in bed, and I'm like, I've got my phone recorder, I've got my other recorder, and I'm listening to the parabolic. I've got the parabolic out, and I heard one, like a longer one. They whatever it was that was making these sounds, changed it and made it more flat in the middle, a little longer, just slightly longer than a regular bell curve. I thought that was interesting. Also, so you know, oh, and I transferred it. That's why it sounds so awful. I had to transfer it from that parabolic. There's no real good way to do it. So I just had to play it and put the earbuds up to the recorder, and that's how I got the recording. Really shitty way of doing it, but, you know, it's all I had. But what we noticed was out in front of us, if you're looking, you know, 10 and 2, or 2 and 10, yeah, 10 and 2, that the sounds seemed to go in those directions. Like it started like at a 2 and it moved to like a 10 if in front of me, opposite for you. But thinking about it, watching me. Does that make sense? Probably not. But my point is that it moved. It didn't just stay in one place and make those sounds, which if it were a dog, let's say, in someone's backyard, I wouldn't think the sound would go fainter and it wouldn't move side to side. If it was a dog who was out, who was just making those sounds, he could have moved, but I just can't see that. I just can't see that. Dogs don't usually howl and then move and then howl and then move. I think coyotes do that, but I don't know so much domestic dogs. Maybe I'm wrong. You tell me, you guys. You tell me. But if not a person, let's just say those are pretty loud. Decibel-wise, I don't know what, and like, what is it called? Spectrograph or something like that. I'm sure you could tell whether that was a human decibels or not, or even whether or not through the spectrograph analysis, whether it was, or a dog, or any canine for that matter. But that's what we heard. Now, we came in there on the first, yeah, we stayed 4 nights. So we came in on Saturday nights. We spent Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday we got out of there on the 5th. But all the days, except for the last day, we walked down to the stream, which I referenced in the video. And that last day was just very interesting. We walked towards the gated area. You can walk around it. And people do when they want to take a walk down this nice little path. It's a road, but it's so overgrown. You can tell nobody's been down there for a long time, except animals and people, but no cars. And that last day we got towards the gate and our dogs went, whoop, looking right up in the hill, and just stood there really, really intently. Neither one of them made a sound. They were staring. But prior to that is when I was feeling it before them. And then when I saw that, I was like, I started honing in on my own feelings of the situation. We decided, no, we're not going down that road today. We stopped immediately, said, something don't feel right. We turned around. Might have been, you know, suggestive from the day before, all the howling the night before, but I don't know what it was. All I know is I felt it physically. I felt it, and the dogs did too. So we turned around. We just went back. We did our business elsewhere. We didn't walk down that trail, but, or I should say, the dogs did their business. I don't usually need a trail for that. What do you guys think of this? I mean, it was interesting. It said it was bear country, and we know for a fact it was bear country because there was just tons and tons of berry bushes on both sides of the road, and especially in big, huge clumps. So I would say there was probably half a dozen big, huge masses of berry bushes. None of them were ripe. Some of them were still blooming, but you saw the you know, the little fruit starting to develop in a lot of them, but most of it was just still blossoms. So we didn't have a fear per se of running into a bear. We kept our eyes open. Our dogs were paying attention. Everybody was paying attention. But yeah, we didn't feel that was a danger at that time. Didn't see any scat. But the day before last, I may have misspoke on the video. I don't think it was the last day that we actually saw that abalone shell. Now, that thing, could somebody, a human, have deposited it right there on the road? Well, sure. Something with hands did. But why? Why would a human do that? First off, I don't know who did it. I'm not saying anything unusual, paranormal happened, or it was a Bigfoot or anything like that. But I did leave a bouquet inside that stinky little abalone shell, just on the off chance that something did deposit it there. And I was like, well, thank you for the gift of the abalone shell. It's a little stinky, but here's your little, your little bouquet of flowers. I was just playing along. But I don't know what left it there, and I don't know how in the hell it got there. I don't know. I guess there could have been people nearby having abalone for dinner, and their shell just was sitting out, and maybe an animal grabbed it and dropped it. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I wish I did. I have no freaking clue. None whatsoever. It just looked very obviously out of place. We're talking hundreds of miles from the coast. Not the store. The store could have them, clearly. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? I'm perplexed. The sounds, can only be a human, a dog, probably, or something else. The abalone getting there, your guess is as good as mine. I don't have any clue. But I wanted to come in here today and give you this information because I'm about ready to go on a truly Bigfoot country camping trip. We're going to go for 4 nights up by Lassen, which is pretty high up. This is 50 miles east of Redding, so it's pretty high up in California. And if you go west from Redding, you're going to run into where Patty used to live, or maybe she still does. I don't know how long these guys live, but her ancestors, our descendants, probably still live in that area. It's a great spot for a Bigfoot, for sure. Anyway, that's going to be a trip and a half because we've been planning it for a while. We have everything. We're tent camping. We're going to hear everything throughout the night. I just bought a really powerful flashlight, not to flash into the woods, of course, but just in case there's an emergency or I absolutely need it. Yeah, what else did I buy for the trip? There's a couple other things I got for the trip, but stuff we're going to definitely use. Oh, obviously, I did get the new audio recorder, so we're going to set that out every night at bed. When I get up, I'll turn it off, and then if something happens during the day, I can turn it right back on. But that's going to be a lot of fun. That's dry camping. That's next to a no motorboat lake. This is North Battle Creek Reservoir, owned by PG&E. So it's a energy source for them. And I believe they're going to let it go back natural. So that'll be interesting too, all in and of itself. They might take the dam out, but or the source of the energy building. Anyway, that's what I got planned. I want to hear you guys listen to that sound again and get it right up to your ear. Use the earbuds, whatever you need to do, and tell me what you think. I hear it as a real serious bell curve. Like it starts low and goes up and comes back down. Maybe it's more flatter like that. I don't know. But did you say that? Was that you? I guess we'll never know. But I want your guys' opinion. So hit me up. And if you have a story, this is one more thing I wanted to say. I always say this. But if you guys have a story, a ghost story, a Bigfoot story, a paranormal story, an alien story, I don't care what the source is, a personal story, I'll take it if your dad told you, because you're first person. But I want anecdotal stories to repeat here on the channel for fun. this is my story today. It happened to me on July 3rd. And yeah, I can't explain it. So this is the sort of stuff I'm looking for. And if you do like this channel, I'm going to try real hard to get this stuff out consistently, the content. And, you know, if you'd like this video, please, and thank you. And if you want to see more and to pop up on your screen, subscribe. And please, and thank you. I appreciate it, you guys. This is Area 58 Mysteries, and you've been listening to your host, Teresa Parker. Join us next time for more stories. And meantime, get out there and get a story for me and send it to me. You can reach me at area58mysteries@gmail.com. Thank you, and have a good one.